I'm going to show you how to start the 82-inch after a prolonged power failure that has drained some or all of the UPS batteries. You can also use this information to restore the system after a power flicker or emergency stop that kills just the dome. We'll start in the control room. First, make sure the large UPS that serves the 3 racks is operating, located in the middle of the north rack. You may need to manually start the UPS if the battery's drained or it was turned off in preparation for a planned outage. Once the UPS is up, make sure the network switches are running. They take about a minute to boot and the status lights to start flashing. Next, find Prometheus, a small POC 120 industrial control computer inside the rack above the UPS, and locate the encoder interface box next to it. Inside the interface box, check for the green light on the TDK power supply on the left side. There's an observation port cut into the finely machined front panel. Turn on Prometheus by pressing its inset power button on the right. After about a minute, the red LEDs on the 2 encoder interface units inside the interface box should start blinking at 10 Hz. Now make sure the other uninterruptible power supplies in the room are operational. The unit behind the racks that serves the east platform, the unit that powers the main desk, and the unit that powers Argos. Let's now enter the dome. Power to the dome is cut when the e-stop button on the console or hand paddle drops the holding phase on the breaker. But sometimes the power flicker during thunderstorms or high winds can drop that phase, killing power in the dome. I'll hit the e-stop button to simulate a power flicker. To restore power, enter the old control room on the east side of the north pier. For safety, use a flashlight to get there. Turn on the room lights from the switches on the right. These are on a separate circuit from the dome, so if they don't come on, you've got other problems. Go to the left side of the room and open the breaker cabinet. Before proceeding, make sure that the uninterruptible power supply to the right of the breaker cabinet is turned on. Press the green reset button. There's also an emergency stop button that kills power, the same as the emergency stop button on the console and hand paddles. Now go to the back of the room on the right side and open the Osiris cabinet and check the UPS at the bottom of the rack. Like the room lights, this UPS is not on dome power you just restored, so it may not need attention unless power was cut to the whole building. Nevertheless, make sure the UPS is on. A common mistake here is to think a single light, for example the battery light, means the unit is serving power. Make sure that power, voltage, and battery lights are on. Use the dimple power button to turn on the UPS if necessary. Next, go to the console. It has a similar UPS to the one in the Osiris cabinet and is located under the drawer, but this one is on dome power. Check the power lights, start the unit if necessary, and make sure the console touchscreen is working. If necessary, turn on the Mac Mini located at the bottom of the pull cart. The power button is flush with the rounded corner on the bottom side closest to the console. Press it once. A common mistake is to press it twice, which will first turn on the computer and then put it to sleep. Another common mistake is to turn off the rocker switch on the power strip. After the operating system boots, the Track82 account should log in automatically. Now start the console by pressing the green power button to the in position. Launch Track82 from the desktop icon. It should be receiving UTC, HA, and so forth from Prometheus. If it isn't, go back to the control room and check the network switches, encoder interface box, and Prometheus. When first starting Track82, you must manually set the dome azimuth. Set the dome dead east with the P&H heavy lift hook directly over the steel post between the two steel case cabinets on the dome floor. In the dome azimuth box, you should see the word setup in bold font, indicating the dome is directly on a sensor awaiting an azimuth value in hours. In the telescope status box, enter the setup menu, select dome azimuth, and enter the default value of 6 hours. If the dome is not dead east, you can enter other values, but it's easiest at the east stow position. Now we'll go back to the control room and, if needed, start the Mac Mini on the top right shelf. After you are logged into the account, start Track82 from the desktop and again set the dome azimuth. Finally, go back to the dome and confirm that all functions work from both the console and Track82. For starting various instruments, for example Argos, check their separate instructions.